back to you again. Well, this is gonna have to be part 2. I can't edit this on my computer. And as soon as I plugged my phone, it stopped videoing. Piece of junk. But when there was stuff like tax information stuff, I just want to reinstall XP onto it. It's the same thing that came on it. Because it's good to have a fresh install of XP. I know it doesn't have a lot of stuff on it, but that's just how it is. Leave the system intact, current file system intact, no change. Format the NTSC file system quick. We don't format F. I don't want to wait all day on a 40, whatever size hard drive this thing has. I don't have. Granted, I made the mistake of doing a low-level, a non-quick formatting on a 1 terabyte hard drive. Granted, it took it in 6 hours. Believe me, bud, if the hard drive was over 40 gigabytes, I wouldn't do it if I were you. As the saying goes, life's too short to wait 6 hours on a Actually, life's too short to sit on a computer for 6 hours looking at a taskball. Actually, I didn't really do that. Hopefully, those drivers I have work, because if not, HP is a real. I'm not fond of them because of the drivers. I like Dell, but sometimes on some computers at work. There was another computer I didn't make any video of, but I wasn't gonna because it had TAX stuff on it, and I'm not good at hiding anything, so I didn't do a video. And the power supply was bad. I mean, it was a VizTech. You plug it in, the light wouldn't come on. It would just blink. So you plugged in. I couldn't put a new on it. I just hooked one up, turned on. The CD-ROM drive was busted, and the motherboard, out of all the capacitors, only 3 of them were bulging. It was working, but it wouldn't have been working long. And I'm not going to replace capacitors on a computer of that type. Because granted, I normally have to give those away because I get so many of those. So I really didn't think it was necessary to do. So I'm just reinstalling XP because I don't have a Windows 98 yet. I couldn't find any drivers that. More of my software works on XP than 2000. Besides, I do have, and I don't know why, but they said you could run Vista on this thing. Whoa boy, if this thing could run Windows Vista, then my name ain't my name. I'll just say that. Because if it can run Vista, oh boy, that'd be something I'd like to see. But this was just found on a shelf. I can't say where I got it because that's on a need-to-know basis. Nobody needs to know. But I got a floppy drive with it, and I'm going to use it. It's a nice computer, and when you turn the monitor on, it comes on red. I mean, everything's red. Then it just goes right to the right color after a few seconds. I don't know what, but the backlight doesn't seem to be bad. It's just, it wouldn't even post when I found it. Now it does. The battery's bad, but I ain't digging this thing apart to replace the battery. That's not in my to-do list. I'd rather just type the date in. It's doing that and everything. Is that? Now that Sony over there is a nice turntable. It's, by the way, if I knew what my battery was, I'd walk over there real quick. But I'm not going to make another video. That'll be on something else. But that Sony there is a dual loading system, and it's got quartz lock, speed, it's a direct drive, and linear tracking. And the thing that seems to be wrong is that the belt that moves the tone on back and forth is bad. And it's not like and that thing doesn't need lubricated one bit. That thing there, the lubrication on that thing is so good that is snick a snot. If you touch any of the lube, your hand will be flying off of it, and everything seems to be really smooth. Even the turntable. And that thing there, I had the original manual. It's a nice turntable. A lot nicer, and you can't even get one for $5,000, $8,000 that can do all the features it can. And like I said, it is dual loading. That thing ejects, almost like a CD player. I do not know what the video resolution I have on, but granted, this is kind of small. But then again, I'd rather have a video small like this than an ugly thing. So what do we have here? This is an early HP Pavilion Granted, the first computer I ever used ran Windows Millennium Edition. And it was an HP, I don't know what it was, I think it had an Intel Celeron. I think it was a desktop version of this. Had the same CPU, 64 megabytes of RAM. I think it was the exact same computer as this one. Except, it wasn't a laptop, it was a desktop. It had like the CRT model, so it was cheaper, but it used, I think it had like the same CPU and stuff in it. And that's why, and I didn't save it because at the time I really didn't know much about computers. And there were games on that computer I never even knew I played. I kept my first game, I thought, but I had like all sorts of interactive games, and most of them I don't even remember. And the discs never got saved. That computer just got so slow, and it got condemned. But it needed a fresh installed Windows instead of it getting a reinstalled Windows ME, because you don't need a product key. And so that happened, it got thrown out. And it's sad that happened. I've had a lot of HP computers. I like the older HPs. I like this, I'll mess with. And ones from the early 2000s. I like the old see-through plastic type. But when they get newer than that, I assume just let them, you see them, leave them lay. Unless someone gives it to me, then I really normally don't. I install Linux onto it because I can't get a driver for a computer out there. If someone had a driver, I could put XP on it. But because this is not, you don't have to activate this version of XP. This is the reason I use it. And I know to some people that's considered maybe stealing. But then again, I mean some people, I mean Microsoft. The only reason they did that is so you can't install it, so you can't use old software. And for that reason, I'm going to do it anyway. I don't care. Oh yeah, I know they ain't getting money from it, but then again, they chose that. I am just doing what I like to do. And all my computers mainly run XP, and I have a use for them. I can't, well, some of my software will run on a new computer. But then again, some of it ain't fully compatible with the new resolutions and stuff. And some of them need an old computer. And also, these old computers are cool and they're fun to mess with. That's the main reason. And then old big shot Microsoft's going to tell me I can't install XP. The only thing he's going to get is I'm just going to walk on whistling by. Granted, this is not, I have made money selling these because there's a few people that still need it so they can, know what I mean, run their software. That's my granddad uses XP on his computers. He has an E-machine. And I know all people say, if you have XP, you really shouldn't. But then again, if you have software for it, how's that an upgrade if it doesn't work on a new computer? And then again, don't use it online. Get a new computer, but if you have old software, use an old computer. Who cares if it's got XP? Who cares if it's got 90? If it lets you run your software, do what you need to do. I wouldn't recommend browsing the web because there is viruses and stuff, and not everything's going to work. But I know in the future, but then again, new computers won't last this long like this computer. So then again, doing it that way with everything you have to be downloaded from the internet, we won't have to worry because these computers are so junky built they'll break. This computer is 17 years old or 18 and it's still functioning, it's still running. And yet this computer here won't even last half that long, so not even maybe 5 years. So, and again, that's when it would just come up and I got it. It wouldn't even, that text wasn't there, it was just HP Infinite. Picture that not being there. That's what happened. That didn't take too long, actually, if you think of it. This is what I found when I got it. It's rebooting. So, like I said, these old computers, keep them going and keep using whatever operating system you want, because use the software, because these new computers are so made in China and crappy built that they're going to break. This computer's got parts from Canada and the United States of America. That might be a good reason why this thing's still functioning to some degree. Well, it didn't work when I got it, but it wasn't hard to get to persuade it to. I mean, it wasn't like I had to do a lot of effort. Wish it was. That's just how it is. Everything. This would be nice to play some old games on, especially my personal favorite, Jazz Jackrabbit 2. That's my favorite game. It'd be fun to play it. Granted, it's only going to be this big. Then again, it's loading some personal stuff right now. I think that might be some of the things to prevent it from needing a product key. You see how it's decompressing? I bet this thing's had something done to it, so you don't have to insert a product key. I don't know where I found it, but I use it because on XP, if you don't have it, it's not hard to get around it. It doesn't look pretty, but it's not. Those passwords on Windows 10 it is, but on old like Vista, just tell it to use it with minimum things. Click up on there and type in the word and explore like Windows something, and hit enter. It'll give you one. Hit it and it'll load Explore. Then you can use your computer. Microsoft really had a thing in there, so it blocked it from doing that, so it doesn't really care, and I need that flash. This camera's not that great. I'm sorry if it is kind of dark. I can't help that. My phone hasn't got the best camera, and it was an expensive phone. It's the Moto. Moto 1 with the interchangeable mods. Now, I'm just reinstalling XP because that's what it came. That's what I got it with. And that's the only thing I could get the drivers for online. And they seem to be the real drivers, and I'm just gonna use them because I ain't gonna bother with. I think I got it from HP's website, but then again, if I didn't, I wouldn't be surprised because HP pretty much sucks in my book. Not the old stuff like this. This is not. This is a good computer, and you can tell this wasn't used much. It's got some rail there. Normally, that's not. It's mainly just dirty. There's not much rail on the keys. Nothing seems to be that worn. And this one has a switch for a power thing, so it's not that used of a PC. I think it's I think it deserves to be saved. I might only get to use it once. I might. It just looked at the. You could just see it. It just looked at the floppy disk. That's kind of cool. And there's one thing you don't get on all laptops. What happened to the hard drive indicator? What happened to the disk indicator? What happened to the optical disk drive indicator? Floppy disk. I know those things are obsolete. But when someone tells me that, they're not getting any help from me when it comes to fixing their computer, because that's how I use it. Hard to use Hyman's Boot CD without it. And I really don't care what other people think is obsolete, because if I did, I wouldn't be collecting things that are old. It's not. Yeah, I do have Windows Millennium on a disk, but then again, I was told that ME crashes a lot, and I'm just gonna put XP on because I don't want to be playing a game and get the blue screen of death. I'll be very, very short-tempered when that happens, especially when it's my high score. Which, for me to get a high score on a game is kind of rare. Well, I can. I'm gonna have a lot of software to install. Yeah, zip disks. Yeah, I remember those. First one I found this from had a few zip disks. I didn't know no zip drive, but zip disks. Oh, and I don't know. Zip disks were neat, but like I said, this could take a long time. This is an 800 megahertz Celeron. And it doesn't have all the updates. It's gonna not be fast, but it can't run a lot of stuff. But yeah, I can run older things. I can all that. I can use it, and it seems to work. This has 2 USB ports on it, like I showed in the previous video. And like I said, this does have a DVD-ROM, so you can install VLC media player and play a DVD on this computer, such as like the television show Alf, which I've been watching. You can play this on an old puppy. It has a DVD-ROM drive, and I was told, of all things, installing devices. Well, I'm afraid I'm going to have to do some of that manually. I like XP. I think it was the last good version of Windows ever made. They've all gone downhill from there. Granted, especially Windows 10, they've hit rock bottom and broke through the rock. They've hit the core of the earth. That means they're pretty much, it's an awful operating system, and anyone who likes it doesn't care anything about personal privacy. It's gone too far. Like this, it won't spy on me. That's why I use Linux, because who they've gone to way too far. And besides, it's my computer, Microsoft, and if I want to download a torrent file or something, I should have the right. I don't like that also about Windows. If you have a torrent file, like to download a Linux thing, you can't do it. I really don't think I like that too well. At all. And I mean it, at all. That's just who I am. This computer, when I thought it wasn't this, it was something in the hardware, something slowing it down when I turned off. And it, like I said, when the first time I turned on, it was slow. I mean, I thought something was wrong with it, but then again, the second time it seemed to be working. So it's still coming back. It's coming back to life. It was doing more than it did when I found it. It's healing itself. I do not know, but it seems to be working pretty well. And I also am running it off my laptop because that thing's been plugged in for years and I really don't particularly trust it. Besides, that's a lot nicer power supply and it seems to be running it. This thing has no battery. As people would expect, the battery could hold a charge. I don't know. I ain't gonna find out, especially when he's installing Windows. That's gonna be a stupid thing to do. I don't want to do it over again. Well, like I said, well, when I was out, someone thought this looked like a scannel. And I pulled it out and it turned to be this. If it works, I'll clean it up a little bit. It's kind of dirty. But this is a keeper. The other HP, along with its power supply, and I don't know what else I threw out, is out waiting to be sent to the trash. There's no recycling center nearby, and I ain't keeping it until once in a year, and I don't even know if we have anything. Yeah, I'm not driving. Well, I'd have to have someone drive me a long way away to do that. And I can't recycle electronics anywhere nearby. I don't even know if there is a place you can recycle it in this whole country, in this whole state. So, this is just how it's going to be. Come on. I don't want to pause my phone, so if you can just skip through it. But the reason I can't is because if I pause it, I'll have to break another part, and I ain't doing that. And granted, I really can do video editing anymore, because because Windows doesn't support Windows Movie Maker. I can't even download it, and I ain't paying $100 bloody stupid dollars for a video editing program like from Adobe. I wouldn't even know how to use it. And frankly, I don't care enough. It means I'm out of it. I use that program, which XP has that. But I don't have a USB port or an SD card slot I can use. So I'll use XP for it, but nothing else. Because at least, that's another good thing about Windows. I must have found the driver for the video. Then again, this is an old computer, I might not need the driver. I must have found a driver. It's a nice computer. A lot better, and actually it's a real keyboard, unlike these weenie computers we have today. It's actually quality. This thing weighs a lot more than a gaming computer. This thing was built right the first time. It wasn't built in China. It was built in, I think it said it was assembled in America with parts from Canada. Back when HP was HP, but I only collect things that have this logo. If they have the new HP logo, I assume smash them with the sledgehammer. If someone gives it to me, then I will deal with them, because if they're broken, because technically, that's what I think of them. But if the only people who like new HP computers are people who want a computer that breaks on them, and is built so cheap that a record player from I don't know, but I just know this. Anyone who buys an HP, he's been ripped off. Unless it's an old one like this, and I have no complaints. They're actually really well made. Nothing to complain about. They do a good job. Besides, I'm supposed to know it's like to have a fresh install anytime I can get a used computer. I don't know how much was on that thing or what. If it was online, it could have been viruses, you just don't know. So, I don't need anything slowing down the computer extra. This is a computer just for fun. Use it to play games and also whatever you might need it for. Like I said, XP is actually the same thing as Windows 2000, but edited a little bit. They just changed the graphics, made it a little bit more compatible with older things, and did a few bit of improvements. But essentially, it's just Windows 2000. It's just been upgraded a little bit. It's based on the same thing. Let's do this. I like that you can actually read it. Name. You don't need to know that. I don't think no one's gonna get on this computer. I don't need a password. Alright, well, it's not Friday of 1988. I wish it was. It's a lot nicer time period. Oh, yeah. It's gonna take a while. If this computer was built back in 1998, this would have been one expensive PC. I'm telling you that. You know, when it was new, it was expensive, but if this thing was made back then, if someone could afford it, man, oh man, would people be... The only way people would have something back there is if someone bought a DeLorean with one of these back. See if anyone knows, they know that's from Back to the Future. That'll be a good movie. Come on, it's not 2006, we need it. Oh, I'm setting the clock anyway, but it'd bother me if I didn't. I'm gonna get carpal tunnel in my finger if this doesn't get to the year. Man, this just go time. This almost feels like how fast time goes. Yep, I'm getting carpal tunnel. Better get this done before my hand falls off. March 25th, I believe. And the time is definitely, well, what do you know? Oh. Not too shabby. It was only an hour and a PM off. And we ain't that, we're at Eastern Standard Time. Well, this computer here is not able to burn disks. This hard drive seems to be good. I ain't gonna replace it yet, and if it breaks, I will, but I really don't even know where it is. Like, the latch on this thing ain't broken. This was lightly used. Dirty, but lightly used. So, there's not a lot of hours on this computer. The other computer, it's harder. It was only 866 hours, which seems kind of like a lot, but then again, that ain't that much. You know what I mean? As if that computer is designed to run for 10,000 hours or something without breaking. In the grand scheme of things, I don't think that's a lot of hours for a PC to be running all for that time. These were never used. And the reason is that power supply is probably not bad, but I ain't taking a chance. But those discs are full of different HP. It could be the other one that's there. It could have been the one I threw out. I'll find out, because I'll probably have to go get stuff. Maybe I won't actually going to go back for that one. Oh. Yeah, it will be faster and more reliable. Especially when it comes to Windows 10. Kinda neat how that light there is actually the light of the optical drive. It's flashing within sequence of it. This is a pavilion. I know it's running XP, but technically the computer, mainly the computer I got years later, ran XP. It was an HP, and it got blown up. Power supply got cooked. I didn't know that at the time, so the computer's no longer with me. And it probably would have had it maybe a few more years later. But this is a nice PC, well built. And you can see that the mouse, whoops, cannot go outside the board because that's all the resolution of the screen's up to. I just 26 minutes of properly. Sorry if it's been taking forever, but I'm afraid I'm gonna have to pause this, so I won't have enough memory on my phone to store this. That's why I don't record in high resolution. So I'll catch you in part 3 when we actually get to setting it up and installing the drivers.